Hi, I'm Jessica Grace and welcome to Pulse Television. Each week we'll be sharing the people, places and culture of the Geelong region. Join us as we uncover the hidden gems in your backyard. Tonight, Pulse reporter Sally Cannon takes us on a tour of her hometown, Apollo Bay. Then later we'll check out Toast to the Coast. But for now, here's Sally.
Hi, I'm Sally Cannon for Pulse Television, and today I'm coming to you from the beautiful Great Ocean Road coastal town of Apollo Bay. Today I'll be introducing you to some local celebrities and identities and showing you around this magnificent part of Victoria. Peter, welcome to Pulse Television.
Great to be here, Sal.
We're here today at your beautiful hideaway in Apollo Bay.
Yeah.
Tell me, when did you first discover Apollo Bay?
Oh, I discovered Apollo Bay so many years ago, and I had an HQ Holden. And on a misty day, we'd take it around here and have a look at the hills and thought, gee, this goes all right, this place. Now, I was about 20. So sort of ever since then, my wife Jen and I have been coming around and having a look, and we'd take the kids, usually in the middle of winter, we'd take the kids all through the hills and down to Apollo Bay, fish and chips, and then go again. And one day I thought to myself, would not mind at all.
It's an absolutely magnificent property up here that Peter and his lovely wife Jenny have got. Oh, yeah. And Peter is a great supporter of anything that's ever going on in Apollo Bay. He's always got his hand up and being approached to host functions and do things, and just, you know, an absolute real local down here now, aren't you, Pete?
Look, I am, and that's the way we feel. As far as community living goes, nothing beats here, and it's always a pleasure to get back. There is good coffee, there is great food, there is great surrounds, and most importantly, there is great people. We just love it.
We have been lucky enough to be invited into Peter Grubby Stubbs' pool room to look at this most magnificent painting over our shoulder, an Archibald entrant in the 2009 Archibald Prize, Peter. Tell us a little bit about the painting, please.
Well, the artist is a guy called Phil Suter, and he's a realist painter. And he approached me to do the Archibald entry. He did a meticulous job, and as you can see, he's captured the view, our view in my microphone there, and view at the back. And you can just see my wife Jenny's face there in the headphones, and my radio partner Dee Dee, with whom I still work at 3AW's, reflection there, just silhouette. Had a lot of trouble with the hair apparently, but yeah.
It's a magnificent piece. It took our breath away when we walked into the pool room. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so. Thanks, Al. I mean, it's one of those things, Archibalds, because they can do anything. You don't really know what an artist's going to do. But when this was unveiled, we all went, wow, you know, and Jenny was thrilled with it. So that was the main reason for buying it.
Oh, well, thanks for bringing us down to the pool room and showing this. That's fantastic. We've been lucky enough to be invited down into Peter's shed to see a side of him that I don't think a lot of people would have seen. He is an avid model railway builder.
Well, thanks, Sal. It was an interesting one. I started doing it when I was about 10, and around about the time my hormones kicked in, about 13, I stopped doing it. And around about the time I was 30, I started on it again after my daughter. This is a scale model village of 1960s England. So the road vehicles and the type of buildings, I built it all pretty much from scratch. And a lot of people say it's the hobby of a sad, obsessed little man, and they may be right.
And obviously your grandkids just must love coming down here and playing with it.
We've spent hours, a 7-year-old particularly, but the 4-year-old's getting into it too. But they think it's just wonderful. Well,
Peter, thank you for showing us around your magnificent Apollo Bay property and giving us a bit of an insight into life down here for you and Jenny and the family.
Oh, pleasure, Sal. It's been fun. And look, I've got to tell you, not many people have seen the trains. So,
well, a whole new meaning to the training room, I'd say.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, look, it's been fun. So good luck with the rest of it, Sal. It's been great fun.
Thank you, Peter. And thank you, everyone. And this is Sally Cannon for Pulse Television. Here at the site of possibly one of the biggest infrastructure projects to hit the Apollo Bay region since the completion of the Great Ocean Road, and that's the construction of a new water storage facility. I'm here with Pete Shivey, the project manager for the project. Pete, tell me a little bit about this project.
This is one of our most important projects for Apollo Bay. What we're doing here is building a new water storage basin. What that'll do is give us water security for the next 30 years. We're also upgrading the water treatment plant up in Marengo over in the back hill, and that will take the water treatment from 2.5 megalitres a day to 4 megalitres, which will cover also water supply for the next 30 years.
That's comforting to know as an Apollo Bay resident, because over the last few years water restrictions have impacted greatly on our town. So this is now going to obviously provide us with a lot of water now for the future and beyond.
Yes, so after next year when the upgrade's done on this basins, the water supply security over the years, it'll take a little while to fill this up. It's 250 megalitres.
This is Apollo Bay, Pete. We'll have this full in a week, the amount of rain we get.
So, yep, over the next couple of years you'll have water security.
And tell me, when did construction commence on the project?
We commenced in November 2012 and we're expecting to pull it up February 2014 and are currently on track. Now, we've just started the works again after winter, which we suspended for 3 months due to half a metre of rainwater.
Now tell me, it's obviously employing quite a few people, this project, for the area. Are most of them from out of town, or are some locals being employed as well?
We have between 40 and 60 people and about 22 bits of land.
On site every day?
On site, over the range of the job over the day, and on average we've gotten up to around 15 local people where we can. Obviously there's specialised skills you need here, and where we can supplement it we do.
Okay, and Pete, you were telling me an interesting fact in relation to the dirt that's been moved from the area. The equivalent amount, now let me get this straight, of a 6 kilometre stretch of road,
yes.
If we were to put all the dirt on a 6 kilometre stretch of road at light post height, that's how much dirt you have taken out of this project.
We could build a wall from here to Skeens Creek as high as a light pole.
That's amazing. So Pete, obviously there's quite a few environmental issues that you have to take into consideration and respect in the construction of a project like this. Have you come across many of those sort of things while you've been doing it?
We've done a range of things. From the start we had to do geographical studies here, archaeological studies, flora and fauna studies. Out of that we found 5 Aboriginal sites which we've had to salvage 1.5 of. We've protected the rest, European historical site. We've had platypus that we've done studies on and put special barriers in place and designed the intake structure around. We've had the mudfish in the northern gully here which we've had to relocate, so we do a lot around the environment and stakeholders to get the council permits through, and it's very strict on what we need to do to operate.
I imagine it would be. Well Pete, thanks for taking the time out to talk to us today and tell us a little bit about the project, and hopefully it's all on track and we can have long showers well into, the next 20 years.
You're welcome.
This is Sally Cannon for Pulse Television.
Where we are, Sal, is on the site of where Bo and I are going to build our house,
Lovely.
and I'll show you that.
Okay.
This is currently known as Snob Snob.
Snob. Neil, you've been a long-time resident of the Otways. How
Yes.
long have you been here for?
I came here when I was about 12. My mother married into the family, and it was a huge shock for me because I came from Sydney, the heart of Sydney, and I came to this location at that age.
How did your mother, living in Sydney, meet your stepfather living in the middle of the Otways?
That is an extraordinary story, and that is part of a story that I've been working on called the Bent Coin.
Okay.
It's a surreptitious meeting. In the old days, when you used to put money in the petrol bowser,
Right.
and it was a stormy, terrible night, and that's where my mother met my stepfather, and it is a true love story. It's a beautiful story.
So we're on your property now, and you're
Yep.
about to show us where yourself and your lovely wife Bo are about to build the dream home.
Yep.
Whereabouts is that? Just...
Should we go walk down and have a look? Come on then.
Okay. Follow us. I imagine when the house is complete there'll be no more acting, because quite frankly, why would you want to leave here? Have a look at that view. Are you getting that view, Peter? That is magnificent. So we are in an area of the Otways called Glen Eyre, which is approximately about 30 minutes from Apollo Bay.
Yes, spot on. Yep, it's 35 kilometres.
35 kilometres, and just the beautiful green rolling hills going straight into the ocean.
And when you look back this way, you can see right up onto the ridge at Lavers Hill, and that's the highest point in the Otways. So we get the full gamut, and here we've got a perfect north-south access.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got beautiful sun and spectacular view.
Now tell me, Neil, at the moment you're on television on a Friday night in...
Friday night coming up is Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
So I play George Sanderson.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can work out for themselves what sort of character George Sanderson is. because he reveals quite a bit at the end.
Okay. You always seem to play a character like that. I sort of think if ever I get into trouble, I'll just come and see you because, you know,
I'll fix
a
it.
lawyer or a policeman or someone that can get the job done in the whole.
I end up being the very ambitious Deputy Commissioner of Police, Miss Fisher.
Okay.
In my ultimate episode, I am promoted to Commissioner. But whether or not you'd want me to protect you, you'll have to wait and watch the series.
All right. Sounding like you might be a.
You may not think he's just the guy to protect you.
Okay. All right.
But I like to play him as if he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Neil, for joining us today on Pulse
Thank you,
and
Sally.
showing us around your beautiful property here in the Otways. And for Pulse Television, this is Sally Cannon.